We're continuing our countdown to the World Cup. We cannot wait. 175 days exactly to go until it all gets underway. And today we are going to focus on one of the contenders, you have to say, Portugal. Could they win their first World Cup? They've produced so many great players down the years. Eusebio there. Rui Costa is now the sporting director at Benfica. Luis Figo, what a player. Magic at his feet. Genius. He was great for Portugal. Deco as well more recently. And then, of course, Cristiano Ronaldo, CR7, who will be 40 as he goes into this World Cup next year. In terms of their best ever finish, had a few decent finishes. 1966, finished third. Of course, England won the World Cup that year. Who could forget that?
Had to bring that up.
Forget about Portugal. 2006, they also reached the semis, finished fourth that year. And then the last World Cup in Qatar, they made it to the quarterfinals. Sort of before we get on to specifically with Portugal, I wanted to ask you this question. What does a team need to win a World Cup, Ian?
A team like Portugal or a team in general?
A team. To win a World Cup, what do you need?
You need a multitude of things. You don't just necessarily lean on quality that you have in your squad. You don't rely on a striker that can score goals from you. You don't rely on health or maybe even the setup, the foundation you have with a great coach. You need all of those things to essentially come together for it to work. I mean, throughout history, there has been some great nations who have had a lot of success. They've created talent. They've gone on to have success. But actually, I think for smaller nations and nations like a Portugal, you've got to make sure that everything sort of comes together at the right time to go on and have World Cup success. But what it would do for the nation if they did find it would be unreal.
There was a reason I asked you that question, because now we move on to specifically about Portugal. Do they have enough to win the World Cup coming into this one?
Portugal, as many people who have been watching our show for a long period of time, are my dark horse to win the World Cup. Now, I've been critiqued because of that reason. Many people have jumped into my DMs or even added me on social media. If you're looking for it, it's at Adam Hunt Sport. Please make sure you let me know how you feel about it.
Leave me alone.
They're dangerous. Listen, every single position on this field is filled with talent. Every single position, and I'll break down a little bit later on what I really think about this, but every single player has something to offer this Portuguese national team. There's world-class quality in midfield. There's experience in the centre-back position. There's competition in goalkeeping position. And up front is where the real creativity comes in. You've got the great and legendary Cristiano Ronaldo, but then you've got Bruno Fernandes, or Fernandes, according to our Chris Whittingham. You've got then talented youngsters who will float around and potentially try to get into that starting 11. So we'll break it down a little bit more in just a minute, what I think the three keys are for them to go on and have success. But how remarkable is it to have this? But not just necessarily the experience on the field, they also have on the sidelines as well. So a lot of things are going in the right direction for the nation Portugal, but there's something to be said about written in the stars. We remember what happened with Lionel Messi. Everyone wanted Messi to win the World Cup. I bet there's a few out there who wish Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah, there's a lot of people hoping that Cristiano Ronaldo can finally do it into his 40s. You would think it probably is his last World Cup, because he'd be 44 coming into the next one. So surely this will be the last one, although you wouldn't put it past him. How much would it cap his already unbelievable career?
Well, what he's done for football in general, what he's done as a humanitarian, what he's done for the legacy of the game, what he's done for video games and for the next generation, the youth players, the celebration, I mean, the icon that he is. And, you know, I said I'm a Manchester United fan. This guy's a hero of mine. He's one of the most athletically built players we've ever seen in history. He does things that other players could never even dream of trying, and he's still playing at age 40. And now it looks like he's going to be, I think he's going to be 41, you know, when that first ball rolls. I think he's going to be 41, which is absolutely insane that we're talking about that. But he's ripped. He's in great shape. He's not normal. He's not human. He can still offer this team so much in front of goal, and I still think there's a real possibility he has an impact in this World Cup as well. I wouldn't expect him to play every game. I would expect him to be rested at times and making sure you pick and choose the moments when you utilise his brilliance. But this guy right now is currently sitting on 954 professional goals. 954 professional goals. You have the legendary Pelé, who claimed to have over 1,000 goals. I think there's one other player who claimed to have over 1,000 goals as well. But Cristiano Ronaldo, all of his goals are on record. They're all on tape. Everything's been seen. And he's doing it at the highest level every single place he goes. Now, playing in Saudi Pro League, completely helping dominate a region and change football in that region, he's a worldwide phenomenon. And I wouldn't put it past him winning a World Cup with this group of players, and his experience is vital.
But as we saw early on, they've had a lot of great players down the years, going all the way back to Eusebio, who was playing in that era with Pele, and they haven't managed to get over the line.
So let me ask you this then, before you even get your question out. If you look at this group of players, now individually, yes, I agree with you. They've had periods where Portugal have had individual class players, world-class players. You go through the years, you just pointed out there. You know, Figo, Deco, Rui Costa. You also have, going through history, Eusebio and people like that. But let me ask you this. Is this the most talented group of players you've seen assembled ever by Portugal?
I don't think I'd use the word talented. I would say complete. That's always been the issue for Portugal in the past. They've had players like Ronaldo and back down the years to Luis Figo and all the others.
Yes.
But there's always been a weakness. There's always been an area. I mean, England played them not that long ago in a World Cup, and I remember going into that game thinking, well, we've got to worry about a couple of stars here, but there's clearly some areas where we can really hit them on the break. And I think that's the issue for Portugal is, in previous years, there's always been an area where you can attack them. But I think as we saw that team just there, where is the weakness in this team? But let's play devil's advocate. Why can't they win it? Why might they not do it this time?
Well, they haven't necessarily been outstanding through qualifying for the World Cup. They weren't at their best. They were actually a little inconsistent and actually left it kind of late going into the qualification process to stamp their place at the World Cup. And you remember they obviously had an emphatic victory to finally clinch it. Discipline for Cristiano Ronaldo in Ireland. You remember what happened there. That can happen to players of his age, and some of the young players, inconsistency can creep in as well. But I fear for injury a little bit. What I would like to see is a few things, and here's the most important factors for me, okay? I think Portugal are an absolute favourite going into this World Cup because of these three things. An experienced coach. Martinez has been in a World Cup semi-final with a great Belgian side. They were talented, but are they as talented as this Portugal side? I don't believe so. Sorry to all you Belgians out there. Don't mean any threat to the Red Devils. But this group of players is sensational. Yeah. And I do believe that they have Martinez in his prime right now, wanting to have success, to prove people wrong. Because it didn't go well for them in the next World Cup in 22. It wasn't great in the Euros either with the Red Devils, right? He largely disappointed. So maybe surprised that he got the opportunity now with Portugal. He would have been licking his lips when he sees the quality in every single position. Every single position, from start to finish, has two players battling it out to try and get in to his starting 11. And there's young players, there's experienced players, there's players playing at the elite high level, and then you've got players who are in form right now who are just next-level world class. It's not just one, right? Can't say Cristiano Ronaldo's world class only in this group. You've got Bernardo Silva, who's world class. You've got absolute talent.
Mendes as well, yeah.
But I'm going to throw the X factor out to you. Now, the X factor, I was kind of trying to keep it a secret, so I was kind of standing here, you know, so I could keep it a secret. Many people will say the X factor is Cristiano Ronaldo in this group, right? Because he's a legend, he's an icon, and it would be awesome to watch him win the World Cup. Many people would say, obviously, Rafa Leão, world-class talent, X factor. He can win you a game. He may even win your World Cup if he finds his form and consistently finds his form. He has the X factor, but is inconsistent with it. The X factor for me, for Portugal's success, is Vitinha. Now, I have listened to people on this network, not pointing any names or pointing at any people or saying any names. Jeff Shreves, anyway, said that Declan Rice is the best midfielder in the world. You must be joking. Absolutely joking. He is not anywhere near what this guy's producing right now in terms of world-class quality. Best midfielder in the world, you have to produce it on the highest level, on the highest stage. This guy's won everything. The only trophy he didn't win was the FIFA Club World Cup for Paris Saint-Germain. And you remember what he did during the Champions League final? Difference maker. When it matters most, on the big occasion, stepping up and proving a point. One of the best players in the world with his passing. If you look at players now, the only one that's even close to this guy's standard is Pedri from Barcelona. Passes into the final third. Exceptional. He is next level brilliant. So when I look at this group and I say, okay, who do you really need to step up? Yes, you need the full group and you need a lot of things to check off for you to have World Cup success if you're a nation the size of Portugal. It's not a big nation. But I think Vitinha holds the key. He is the X factor. If he plays well, the group plays well. If they play well and consistently well at him, they've got a chance of winning the whole
Really quickly, I'm only allowing one word here. You said they were your dark horses.
Yep.
If you were to put money on it, where do you think they'll get to?
Plus 1,000 for them to win the whole thing. Plus 550 to reach the final. I would put money on plus 550 to reach the final.
Okay.
Plus 220 to reach the semi-final. That's not one word, Adam. Sorry. But in my personal opinion, you've got to be very careful what you wish for. If they have success and they win their group stage, they win their group. They've got a difficult group, right? Uzbekistan and Colombia, and then, of course, you've got another team coming in for the playoffs. If everything goes well and we expect them to have success and win the group, you have a chance of a quarter-final matchup between them and Argentina.
Oh.
Which would mean what? Ronaldo versus Messi. I mean, let's lick our lips at the opportunity of something like that.